Many sermons now in churches are topical sermons, and unfortunately, the poorly done kind. So, what do I mean by that? Well, a lot of the sermons, either the preacher takes a topic that they usually come up with in their own mind, or they feel particularly inspired by or moved by, and the person just collects verses that they can think of and try to collate them. Sometimes even taking the verses out of their context. So they do what's called proof texting, which means that they take a text which does not mean what they saying it means, but it has some of the wording or some of the ideas, and then they superimpose it in order to support the idea they already want to make in that sermon. So they do what's called exegesis, or they insert ideas into the text, or they use the text to support the idea rather than explain the idea of the biblical text. Other times, some preachers, they take a passage and claim to be doing an expositional sermon, but really they're doing a topical sermon. So rather than explaining the details in that passage, the ideas or the wording of that passage brings to mind certain ideas that they feel passionate about, or certain theological topics. It could be even good topics like predestination, or the love of God, or the grace of God, or prayer, or the empowerment of the Holy Spirit. But when a keen reader of the Bible read the text that they're referring to, or the text that they read prior to delivering their sermon, and then compare it to what is said by the preacher, it just does not match. Now, that doesn't mean that topical sermons are bad. That just simply means that the preacher needs to do topical sermons properly, which means that the preacher needs to collect all the verses that are relevant to the topic at hand, study those within their context, and summarize those timeless principles, and then collect them and put them all together in a way that is logical, in a way that does not contradict each of the doctrines, and in a way that is finally relevant and applicable to the congregation.